Yo, what's up everybody? It's Ohio, and the other day I was playing PUBG and it ended up getting a couple of wins, but this video is kind of special because this is my first ever win on console. So I wanted to just show you the gameplay. I'm not going to talk too much, but here and there I'll chime in just to give a few tips. But that being said, I'll leave you to it. Enjoy the video. Don't worry about the lag for the rest of the game, guys. It just happens in the beginning of the game. It kind of clears up after 2 or 3 minutes from the start. So after I leave the bunker, it doesn't really happen anymore to me. So right here, guys, I end up finding painkillers, and I do end up taking them because of the fist fight left me at 75% health, and I didn't want to waste my med kit. So I use the painkillers, and while I'm using them, you can see I check the map. And the reason I do that is to see where the zone is, because after the 2 minutes is up on the timer right there, right above the map, the gas is going to start to close in and push me toward that circle. So I was just looking for information, and basically what the information told me is that I can continue looting because I'm not that far away from the zone. Right here I'm running straight toward the zone, but I can look around and behind me. All you need to do this is to hold the RB button and then move your right analog stick. I'm doing this just to make sure no one's behind me. As I'm running up to the buildings, you can see the main house door is open, so it's obviously been entered. And I did not go in because it's probably been looted already, so just making sure nobody's coming up behind me. And then right here I cut about 2-3 minutes out of the gameplay. This is the only real cut I make in the whole edit, and it's just because this is the least interesting part. It's just me running, and you can see here I can look at the progression bar above the map to see where the gas is, and I saw that it was starting to close in a little bit faster than I thought it was, so I held Y to put away my weapons, and that way I can run faster. So I could have continued on to the next zone. It's always good to stay ahead of the zone movement, but I saw that I had a good amount of time and the next zone wasn't so far away, so I decided to stay back. A lot of the time there are people lagging behind and they're using all their meds just to make it through the gas. So if you're in this situation, you have a lot of time and the next zone isn't too far away, you can patrol the outer edge of the gas, and if you catch a player coming out of there, he will be weak, maybe even one shot, and most of the time they'll prone as soon as they come out trying to heal. So if you're watching that, it could be a very easy kill for you. If you're ever moving around looting, or maybe you're moving to the next zone and you notice that you're either in a red circle or you have to go through a red circle, if you have time, try to avoid it and stay inside, because it is an artillery strike and the missiles do land randomly, so there is a chance that you could get blown up. But if you're ever running really behind, you know, you don't have that much meds and you're moving through the gas, you're just going to have to push your way through it. Or maybe if you're a Rambo type of player and you know some guy is hiding out in a building, you can use the artillery strike to cover your sound and you can rush the guy. So here I decide to take my chances, and I'm just guessing that I'm far enough away from the nade, but I'm not, so I take a ton of damage. And what saves me here is I'm cycling through my consumables. What you have to do is you tap down on the D-pad, and that will switch through your consumables, and then you hold down on the D-pad to actually use the medkit. So there's a guy running across my screen right now, and I could pull out the M16 and try to kill him right away, but there's advantages and disadvantages to that. If I pull out the M16 and kill him within a couple shots, then I don't have to worry about him anymore and the chances of him turning around and seeing me. But what I decide to do is let him keep running, because the zone is closing in really fast behind me. And as you get into this later game, the zones do way more damage. And I didn't want to pull out the M16 and start shooting and miss, because if that happens, then he knows that I'm behind him. And all he has to do is continue running until he makes it out of the zone, and then grab cover and wait on me. And that will put him at an advantage. So instead of taking a risk and shooting, I decide to just trail him. If you're behind cover and you'd like to lean peek, all you have to do is click in the analog for the direction you want. So left click for left lean and right click for right lean. If you're wondering what settings I use for my sensitivity, I use 25 dead zone. I use 5 on every other sensitivity except for 8 times and 15 times scope. For those, I use 4 sensitivity. And lastly, I'm pushing into the next zone, and it's in the middle of a field with very little cover, if any at all. So I decide to go back and grab the car, so no matter where the zone moves, I always have a little bit of cover with me. So there it is, my first win on console. You can see I'm spam capturing because I was pretty excited, but not too bad. 10 kills for a chicken dinner. I want to thank you guys for watching. Come back for more PUBG on Xbox, and I'll see you in my next video.